All right. So, welcome to those who are present inside the community session today, as well as the ones who are watching this as a YouTube recording. In today's community session, we'll be talking about how to price yourself as a life coach. In the last sessions, we spoke about how to sell confidently as a life coach and how to coach confidently as a life coach. But one question that I've gotten often is, what do I charge? Like, how do I charge? What do I charge? What are the market standards for coaching? Am I charging too less? Am I charging too high? And there are, multiple questions around prices. Now, what I have found is that the reason there are so many questions around prices is not because you don't know how to price yourself. It's mostly that there is a sense of fear around it, and also there is a belief that there is some market standard to pricing yourself as a life coach, right? So, see, a very crucial part of being in a business or running a life coaching business is actually being in that mindset of a business owner. And most of us, have a background from corporate, or maybe even if, let's say, we've never done a job, we have directly, come from our education system into the coaching business. So we have always been told what to do, or we have always been told that, what, this is what is going on, and you're also supposed to do that, right? Specifically, if you have had experience in corporate, you will, know this term called, this is what the market standard is, or that, there can only be a 20 to 30% hike, or, you cannot ask for this much money if COVID is going on, or if there is, recession is going in, and all of that stuff. So we have been repeatedly told that what we are worth, right? More than worth, I would say, what we can charge is dependent on external factors. This is a mindset of an employee, right? And now there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But you must understand that when you are in a business, you cannot seek validation and permission from other people that should I charge this or should I charge that? Because the fact that you're a business owner means you have complete independence, right? And there are other, misunderstandings and misbeliefs about, if I charge this, I'm unethical, I'm this and that, and yada, yada, yada. So we will be talking about that today. It's going to be a mini session, not long, but there are a few things I want to cover. I will just share my screen and we will start. Okay. Now, at any point of time, whenever someone is coming to you, okay, to tell you or to ask you that, I have heard that you can help me, let's say, with self-love, or you can help me with self-confidence. How can I work with you, right? Or how can you help me? Whatever it is, right? Or let's say someone just tells you that I need help. At that point of time, what you make to the person is called an offer, that, what, currently I have this program. You can work with me for 5 sessions, 6 sessions, 8 sessions, 20 sessions, and I charge XYZ amount, right? That is an offer. And price is a part of that offer, right? Now, pricing comes from two places. One is your desire, which is, what do you want to charge, right? What do you feel like charging? What is a price that excites you? Now, at any point of time, I always tell my clients to always charge something that excites them. The reason being that when you charge less in the hope that somehow people will buy more, which is, by the way, a very big false belief, people don't do that. What happens is that even if a person says yes, there will be a sense of resentment, or there will be a sense of exhaustion in your nervous system, thinking that, fine, I got this person, but, I feel like I have charged too less. So when price becomes a problem, right? When you're not charging your desired pricing, when you're charging, let's say, lesser than that, the price becomes the objection point for you. Even if your client says yes, you will keep hovering about it. Did I charge too less? Should I have charged this much? Why should I coach this person so powerfully? Or, would I have coached this person so powerfully? I should have just charged more, and XYZ things. So to not have that, you must charge desired pricing, because if you do not, then price will always become a hovering point for you. You will not be fully in service to the client. And when you're not fully in service to the client will not get the results that they should be getting, or that they could have gotten had price not have been the objection point for you. So desired price is the price that comes from your body, and it can be anything. See, nobody can tell you what to charge. Sometimes you may feel like, what, I want to charge 100 rupees. Some days you may feel like I want to charge 1,000 rupees. That price comes from your autonomy and your body, and nobody gets to dictate that this is what you should be charging. right? So one place your price comes from for your program is that your desire. What is the price that excites you? Now, another is your nervous system capacity. Now, let's say that I want to charge someone 1 lakh. Okay, let's say I want to charge that. But uh, even though that price excites me, it is my desired price. But when I think about actually saying that number out loud, it scares me, right? My nervous system capacity is actually small. Whenever I think about telling that number out loud to a client, I get scared, or I have this instant urge that, you know what, maybe I should give a discount, or you know what, let me compensate, let me add extra sessions so that, you know, the person will feel, oh yeah, it's worth it. So what is happening is that even though my desired price, the price that excites me is a certain number, my nervous system capacity is not agreeing to that. My body is not willing to accept that number. There is a lot of resistance to that number, right? Now, at any point of time, a good way, a good thumb rule is to choose a number that is in between them. So for example, let's say your desired price is charging 1 lakh, okay? And your nervous system capacity is only agreeing to, let's say, 40,000. So a good rule will be to pick 70,000, a number that will expand your nervous system, will challenge you a little bit, but is also closer to your desired price, right? Now, this will only happen when you have not done trauma healing, when you have not developed your confidence as a coach. The ideal situation is when your desired price is completely accepted by nervous system capacity, where your nervous system doesn't feel nervous around charging whatever the hell you want to charge. Another thing you need to understand, and I will be explaining this more in the webinar tomorrow as well. By the way, if you don't know, the webinar is happening on 22nd of June, 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time. It's going to be on how to start and scale your life coaching business to 6 figures from scratch. And I'll be covering the price part as well in depth. But just to let you know that there is no market standard for life coaching business, because it's a fucking business, right? Excuse my language. It is a business. Please understand. There is no rule to it. You will never see, big corporations checking in with you, doing a survey. Oh, should I charge this? Do you think you will pay for it? No, right? They charge whatever they want to. See, at any point of time, you can be in two positions, okay? You can be someone who keeps on giving discounts. You can be someone who keeps on adjusting, who keeps on lowering your price because, you know, you meet someone who cannot pay you and you buy their story. Or you can be an aspiration to work with. You can be someone who people aspire and save up to work with, right? You will often find that people buy iPhones even when they cannot afford it, because when they look at an iPhone, they see its value. So another point to understand is that people buy whatever the hell they want to buy, and price is not why they buy. They only buy from value. So your focus should be that. Your focus should be on becoming an aspiration, not someone who keeps on adjusting, not someone who keeps on giving discounts, not someone who keeps on shrinking and shrinking that, you know what, let me adjust. Because at any point of time, no matter what you charge, you will always have people who will say no, and you will always have people who will say yes. You will meet both the kinds. You can do it for free, and you will still have people who will give you an excuse, believe me. So by charging less or by reducing your price, by forcing yourself to shrink, is not serving anyone. Because a coach who charges less is going to struggle for money. And when you're struggling for money, you are in survival mode. So you cannot fully be in a place where you can serve your client. And when you cannot fully serve your client, you're not really coaching, right? Neither are you doing any favor to people out there, because you have to understand that there will always be people who will say no. And it's not just for you, it's for everything in the world. No matter how valuable something is, people will always say no to that. You will see that people, may not invest in their education, but they will invest on a marriage. They will take debt for it. They will not spend, let's say, or they will not get coached, but they will, let's say, spend on a vacation. We are not here to judge. What I'm trying to explain you is that people pay for things they value. That's it. People pay for what they desire, right? They don't look at the price. Even if they're telling you it's because of the price, it's not. It's never price. And that's why whatever the hell you want to charge, even if you want to give a discount, it should come from an abundant place. It should come from a place that, you know what, I want to. Not, oh my God, I have to. Because nobody is buying. And you will find that you will often meet people who don't want to buy from you when you are in that energy of lack. That I need to shrink, or maybe I'm not good enough as a coach, or maybe I'm just a new coach, maybe I don't have enough clients, maybe I don't have enough numbers, and yada yada. Right? So you must understand that charging less is not serving anyone. And when you have done trauma healing, your desired price and nervous system capacity will become one, and there will be no friction. So, when it comes to charging what you want to charge, it's not that you cannot charge it, okay? It's often the fears that you have around it. For example, in one of the community sessions, someone asked me that, Rianshi, what if I raise my prices and people judge me? What if my clients think that I'm money-minded? So these are fears that you have about your price, and you project it onto people. And you know what? Someday someone even may say it. So what? Your question should be, so what? I'm running a business, right? I'm not running a pawn shop. I'm not running a charity. I am not, asking for your feedback or your opinion. You are running a business. So you have to come from that place. You will never see luxury brands ever apologizing for charging that much. And you will see people admiring them. You will see people thinking that, oh my God, you know what? I want to be able to earn enough to afford, let's say, a Louis Vuitton bag, or to afford, let's say, a Dolce perfume, or to afford Louis Vuitton shoes. So you can either be an aspiration, or you can be someone who keeps on compromising and adjusting. And you will find people in both the places. You will find people at a higher price point also. You will find people at a lower price point also. Because people don't buy from price, they buy from value. And if you want to truly be a highly paid coach, you have to be willing to let go of people who do not value their transformation. You really have to. For me, I have had so many people who have saved up to work with me. I have had people who have, saved up parts of their salaries to work with me. I have had people who have, taken money from, let's say, their friends or their partners to work with me. And they've made a lot of money by working with me. But if I had not believed in them, if I had not believed in the fact that, what, my client can be resourceful, I would have gotten sucked into the victim story. So who would it have been serving? No one. So you have to let go of people who are not resourceful. You have to let go of people who do not value transformation. They are not your people. There will be some other coach for them who is, let's say, and this is something, that I accepted early on, that maybe there will be a coach who will be willing to give discounts. I'm not going to be one of them. So whenever I attract clients now, I get clients who want to work with me and they create resources. And if they are not willing to, then I know that they're simply not my people. I know that this is someone who is not that, because I have been that. And another thing to know is that you will attract clients like that when you yourself are resourceful. So for example, I have invested a lot of money in my education and in getting my brain coach. The reason I believe so much in resourcefulness of my clients is because I have been that person. I have walked the talk, and I still walk the talk. So another reason why you may find it difficult to actually believe in your clients is because you yourself have never been that resourceful person. You yourself have never actually, worked with a coach by creating resources in your life instead of getting scared. So when you embody that energy, you will also attract clients like that, who will do whatever it takes to work with you. And it will be easier, very easy to let go of clients who are not willing to do that. For example, today, if someone tells me that, what, Rianshi, we don't have the resources to work with you right now, I always tell them that's fine. I believe in you. You can create resources. If they create resources, they want to work with me, they come. If not, then the thought that why or this, it doesn't come to me, because I simply know that they're just not my people. So you must understand that you will also attract clients based on the kind of energy you are vibrating from. So if you have not been resourceful, then you must walk the talk. If you have not invested in yourself, you must, because that are the type of clients you will attract in your life, right? Now, a few things I want to discuss. The very first is there is no market standard. Please forget that something like that exists. Nobody gets to tell you how much you want to charge. You can charge 1,000, you can charge 5,000, you can charge 5 lakhs. I don't care. Neither should you. Your price should only come from your body. See, as a business owner, your biggest asset, specifically as a life coach, is going to be your freedom and independence that comes from your brain. If you rent this freedom out to other people, it can be anyone. For example, when I'm coaching my clients or when I'm mentoring life coaches as well, and when they ask me something like this, should I do this? I always ask them that, are you trying to seek my validation? Only if they say no, do I coach them. If they somewhere say that, you know what, Rianshi, maybe we are, I tell them to stop it right there. See, because it is natural, okay? Now, if you are working with a coach, sometimes it may feel natural to seek validation. But if you're working with me, I will never let you go down that path. I don't want you to seek anyone's validation, and you shouldn't. You are a business owner, no? You must act like that. You must make decisions for yourself. You must make decision, you must experiment, and you must find out for yourself that, you know what, this is working, this is not working. I would rather have you experiment and tell me that, you know what, Rianshi, I experimented and this is what happened. That is when I knew that you have become a true business owner. I know a lot of talented coaches. I really do. But I know very few well-paid coaches because they're not willing to step into the mindset of a business owner. They're so stuck in that, mindset of an employee or a child, that my mentor has to tell me, this has to tell me, my training program has to tell me, that they don't want to come out of that. And if you truly want to run a business, you cannot be in that mindset. So please stop asking what is the market. There is no market standard. There is zero market standard. When you become a business owner, the word market standard does not exist anymore. Your market standard is what you decide. And I'll tell you what, and this is a very interesting point is, and again, I'll explain more about in the webinar about this. See, at any point of time, the culture does not form, the culture forms around the price. The price does not form around the culture. Now, what do I mean by this? Sometimes people say that, and I've heard it from coaches, that, what if, Rianshi, people tell me that, somebody is doing coaching for them for cheaper, should I do, what should I do then? But then I always tell them, you should let them go, because you're not running a vegetable shop, right? When you start increasing your prices as well, and this is a separate topic, but I still want to mention it. Initially, you may get no's, right? Because you're coming out of that energy of charging a certain amount. Let's say you used to charge 10,000. Now you want to charge 30,000. So you're coming out of that energy. So initially you should expect no's. But when you stick to your price, you will get a yes, because now you're setting a newer standard, right? The old people will leave your energy, but then new people will also enter your energy. So the culture the culture, where people respond to your price is a culture you will form based on how, how stuck are you on your price? Like how loyal are you to your price, instead of leaving it the moment someone says no. So there is no market standard. The only market standard, or the only standard, is the price that comes from your body. And what you can charge also depends on how much inner work you've done. And this is directly related to a nervous system capacity. Now I'll give you some example. Let's say that you have a lot of money trauma. Okay. And that could be coming from anywhere. Maybe it's coming from your mother, maybe from your father, maybe your upbringing, maybe you're very afraid of poverty, you're very afraid of getting dependent, or you're very afraid that, oh my God, people will say, no, what will I do, and all of that. When you have a lot of money trauma, it's going to directly impact your ability to feel confident in your prices. Because you may hear a few no's and then you will give up on your price. And that's not how you form a standard. So how much inner work you do is going to determine how high you're actually able to charge. Because when you feel safe from inside, there is no, what do you call it? There's no urge you get to reduce your prices, because it's not about the price at all. People don't buy from price. You will find people take ridiculous decisions, and I've seen it. Before, I didn't used to believe that people don't buy from price. Initially, in the first 3-4 months of my coaching, I used to think that, what, people are saying no because they think it's expensive, so maybe it's that. But when I would ask them more questions, I would find that, they're very willing to spend on other things, much more than coaching. So that is when it became like a real evidence to me. And it is true that people don't buy from money. They buy from value. And that is why you will see that people will take ridiculous decisions in their life around money. And you will be shocked seeing that. And that is when you should know that price is not the problem. It's always whether the person values transformation or not. Now, there are two concepts here. One is you should always be focusing on value, always create value. Second is, if someone does not value transformation, it's not your job to become obsessive about that. If a person does not value transformation, then they don't value it. What can you do about it? You can't beat yourself up for it, right? You can't sit there and think, oh my God, what can I do more? What should I do more? Don't fall into that trap, right? And again, this is something I will teach you inside the training program as well, is that you need to give your 100% as a coach, but then you need to step back. You can't get obsessed with a client. You cannot get sucked into the victim story that, Yanshi, I don't have this, I don't have that. I've had people tell me that. And, initially in the beginning, because again, as a coach, you learn to form boundaries. It used to happen to me, okay? I would get sucked sometimes into some client stories. But then when I started forming boundaries, and obviously the more and more I did my inner work, I realized that the best things my coaches did for me was to believe in the highest version of me. Because as a coach, that is the best thing you will do for anyone, be it someone who becomes your client or not. Believe in the best version of them, because they can't see it now. But when you are able to see them as that version, that's the best thing you can do for them. So every single time I make sure that no matter who's sitting in front of me, I don't believe in the victim stories. Now, and this is again, I'll teach inside the program as well, and I'll make a video sometime on this about how to actually believe in your client's ability or a potential client's ability. Sometimes you will have people who will understand this. Sometimes someone is extremely stuck in the victim mode, okay? And they don't even want to work on themselves. That is when you need to let go, okay? You need to let go of people who don't want to change or transform. And this is why, there is this concept of, coaching someone through the nose, or coaching the people who, who don't believe in transformation to believe in them. I have not been a very big fan of that idea personally. I believe that you should coach someone through the no to make them understand, both sides of it. But if you feel, and again, I will also teach you, and I know a lot of coaches don't, but I will teach you as a mentor, trust your intuition. Please trust your intuition. If your intuition tells you that this is someone who doesn't want to do the inner work, then you need to let go, okay? It's not your job to convince people and exhaust yourself that you should do this work. If they feel that they don't want to do it, maybe they're looking for some shortcut, or maybe they, thought they wanted to change, but they don't really want to change, you need to let go. There are 100 people out there who want to willingly change. And when you exhaust your energy on the person who doesn't want to, you take the chance away from that person. Why do you want to do that? Right? See, everybody's evolution journey is different. Okay? Some people take more time. Some people take more time to realize that, okay, they actually have to take accountability of their life. And that's okay. Your job is neither to judge them nor to, push them. Your job is to coach them. And after coaching, if they still make the decision that they want to be unhealed, or that they don't want to change, then that's okay. You must honor the decision and let them go. Why I'm mentioning this in the price topic today is because I've seen people do that, right? When I tell them, okay, that it's not about the no or the price, it's about the value, they start convincing the potential clients, oh, there is value in this. When you believe deeply that there is value in your work, first of all, it will be there in your energy, okay? Second of all, you won't need to convince the other person, and you shouldn't convince someone else. It's not your job. Coaching is a two-way street, okay? It's not a one-way street of, a coach trying to convince someone. Don't do that. I've never done that. Personally speaking, I've never done that. In the beginning, I was told by someone that, you should do this, you should do that. And naturally speaking, my inclination was, you know what, that this doesn't feel right. Like, I don't want to convince someone to work with me. I want to do a good job as a coach. I want to hold space for them. I even want to help them see what are the, pros and cons of working on yourself. But I don't think I'm going to go down the convincing path. And personally, it has worked out very well for me. Because one, I don't experience any kind of resentment against anyone, right? Because again, I'm not convincing them. Second, I have found clients who come to me sold out. I don't have to convince them. I just tell them, you know what, this is how you can work with me. That's it. So If someone is saying no to you and they're quoting this as a price issue, yes, coach them, don't convince them, right? And now when it comes to price, we're usually not afraid of the price. We're often afraid of others people's reaction to it, right? So as I told you, somebody asked me in a community session a while back that, what if people judge me? What if people say no and yada, yada, yada. So one thing I highly recommend is make a list of all the reactions you think may come if you say no, right? So for example, for me, judgment was not really a problem. I don't think I have ever been afraid that someone will judge me for pricing something. But I was not very good in the beginning, at least, when it comes to hearing no's, because I used to think that, you know what, I have coached this person so much, so they should not say no. And I'll tell you why this was happening to me. Is because in the beginning, no one mentored me and coached me around this. And this is why I will bring this into the training program, because I want you to know that you are not supposed to exhaust yourself coaching. Okay, there are boundaries in coaching as well. You cannot give your 200%. You're only supposed to give 100%. Please understand, right? If it is coming to a point of exhaustion, then you're giving too much, especially if it's the first initial call, especially if it's a discovery call, right? Don't have to do that. So only then when I realized this, I stopped exhausting myself. So because I stopped exhausting myself, the fear around no also went, because I wasn't obsessed with it anymore, because I knew I did a good job. Now it's their decision whether they want to say yes to their transformation or it has nothing to do with me. So that detachment happened when I understood where my fear was coming from. So this was my story, but your fear could be other things, right? Your fear could be of judgment. Your fear could be of, people will stop working with me and stuff like that. So here I encourage you to write down all the reasons you think, all the reactions you think people may have, and then actually prepare that if someone says that to me, what would I like to tell them, right? So don't compromise on the price, work through your fears. And again, work with your coach one-on-one as well around your fears and where they're coming from, because there could be a deeper reason why you have fears around this. And the next thing is get comfortable with the no's instead of fearing them, because no's will happen. And again, see, it's not just with you. If you really want to see resilience, go to a normal, local shop where people are selling clothes, or where people are, selling shoes, and talk to them that how many times people come and, say that they want to buy something, but they just don't do the browse, and maybe they come back 6 months later, or maybe they never come back, or maybe they say, you know what, it's too expensive, or stuff like that. You will never see them close down their shop. You will never see a mechanic close down his shop because someone said, oh my God, it's too expensive. Or you will not see a shoe person close down their shop. They will never do that. So why do you think it's different for you as a coach? Why do you want to shut down your shop if you hear a few no's? That's true for every single business. Every single business, literally every business. I'm not even joking. Tomorrow you can open a, kulfi shop, an ice cream shop on the road, and people will still tell you no. So it really does not matter, and it's not a price thing. No's are a part of every single business and every single thing in the world. Even if you were to go do a job, you will hear no's. So here you have two options, okay? Either you can charge less because you believe somewhere that, oh my God, I will receive less no. So here what will happen, even if you receive a yes, it is not going to bring any kind of excitement or satisfaction, because you're going to have to struggle. Let's say that your goal that is that you want to earn 1 lakh a month, and you're charging 20,000. How many clients are you going to need? You're going to need 5 clients, right? Let's say that you decide to raise your price to, let's say, 50,000. How many clients do you need? You need 2 clients. So when you're charging 20,000, even if you get 2 clients, it's not even half of your goal. But when you are charging 50,000, even if you get 1 client, half of your goal is met. So no matter what you're charging, you're going to get no. So your job is to get comfortable with it. Expect no's. In fact, I tell you, expect it. I always expect no's. I know that it's going to happen. There's no difference between me and some other business. I'm not some holier than thou person. Neither are you that everyone should have to say yes. So this entitlement is something you need to drop completely. And this kind of mentality will develop, this kind of resilience in your business and your mindset will develop when you are first either working with a coach who can help you develop this. Second is when you're in a community of people where this is being taught. So that is why if you're someone like that, if you truly want to be a resilient business owner, if you truly want to do a long-term business, life coach training and monetization program is perfect for you. Not only it is a lifetime program, but it is where I will teach you how to be a resilient business owner, how to not take things personally as a business owner, and how to stay confident and stay grounded as a business owner instead of quitting, instead of doubting, instead of this and that, right? All right. And I think there is a spelling mistake. This is not stop selling validation. This is stop taking validation for what you charge. I'm so sorry. Now this is for everything. Okay. Either it can mean that stop taking validation from your mentor or coach as well, or stop taking validation from your clients as well. Like, don't come from a place, oh, is this okay if I charge you this? Is this okay if I charge you that? No, you don't do that. If you go to a mall, let's say you go to a Levi's showroom and you want to buy a jeans, the guy on the sales counter is not going to tell you, oh, is this okay if I charge you 5,000 for a jeans? He's going to tell you, this is what the charge is. That's it. So you need to decide beforehand, this is what I charge. It's not open for negotiation, right? And similarly with your mentor and coach as well. If you're working with me, I will always tell you, don't seek my validation ever. Your job as a client or your job as a coach as well, when you're working with your own mentor, should be to develop independence in your thinking, not a mindset of validation that, you know what, I'll ask my coach if this is good enough or not. No, you're a business owner, so you must act like it. You must make decisions on your own and you must stick by them. Your mentor and your coach will be able to guide you through it, right? And this is it for today. As I said, this is going to be a mini session. The Life Coach Training and Monetization Program is launching on 22nd of June, wherein I'll be doing a webinar on how to start and scale your business to 6 figures. And then in the end, I'll be walking you through the entire program. And I'm making an incredible offer, which is going to be time sensitive. So if you're someone who's looking for a good deal to come inside the program, you're very welcome to join us. How you can join is you can simply join my community called the Empowered Coaches Community. The link for that is in the comment section of the, YouTube, wherever you're watching. So thank you so much for attending. That is it for today. Do you have any questions? Oh, wait. I think it's not coming. No, right? Okay, great. So we don't have any questions today. If you guys would like to, again, those of you who are watching us recording would like to attend these sessions live, again, you're very welcome to join our community where we have these sessions. And the next session I'll be having is going to be on, I think, overcoming price objections. Yeah, that was a topic I planned. So that is going to be the next session in our community. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. Bye-bye.